Today I'm going to be doing another poem of mine, but it's going to be a little bit different because this poem is intensely personal, and because it is not only about my life, but the lives of others, and because the topic is depression and suicide. So, firstly, if that is something that you are not comfortable watching a video about, whether you just aren't in the mood for it or whether it might potentially trigger you, turn away now, because I'm going to talk seriously about this. Now, I may have mentioned in some of my other videos, but I am sort of the kind of person who has always drawn people to me for advice. And because of that, I tend to, I have friends who will sort of jokingly call me their therapist or their mother or something like that, just because that's the sort of role I play. I am a very maternal, caring, emotional, sensitive person. And I do well in that sort of area, especially because now that I did study psychology in college, so I do have that background. Now, I have had a good handful of friends who have come to me in their depression or anxiety, and it can be quite a burden sometimes to hear someone you care about deeply say that they want to end their life. And because this has been a part of my life again and again and again, I wanted to write about it, but I didn't want to make it, I guess, removed, because I've noticed that what I tend to do when something big happens in my life is I don't write it until much later. So like, the poem that I did about my dad when he passed away, I didn't write that until months afterward, until I had processed everything and felt like I could write about it. This poem was written, I don't want to say in the heat of things, but it was written sort of in the middle of when this was happening to a friend of mine, and it is sort of the culmination of the fact that stuff like this has happened to people I know over and over and over. And because of that, it is more personal in nature. I know that people who read this, outsiders, I guess I would say, would probably not think much of it. But on the off chance that someone who I know watches this video and recognizes something from their life in one of these lines, and I mean, I guess this applies to any of my poems, but this one especially because of the nature of it, I want to say that if you are someone who I know, and there's a detail in this poem that makes you uncomfortable, and you want me to take this video down, I will do that. I just want to preface that because, again, this isn't entirely my life at this point. And while most of my other poems are able to play with when they do bring up other people's lives, they're able to play with their story in a way that it becomes fictionalized, I recognize that because this is something that is so sensitive, that might not have worked out as well. So, there we go. Again, because of the nature of this, I feel like it would be inappropriate to kind of do my usual, tapping and page turning and all that stuff. So I think I'm just going to read you the poem and then end the video after the poem. So, this poem is called 5150. And if you know what that means, then you have some idea of where this is headed, but alright. When we met, you introduced yourself as a masochist. My nails down your arm, you said, "That's nothing. Scratch harder." 20 minutes later, I hadn't popped your cherry, but I did break skin. For the next few months, you clung to me like a baby chimp, running off to play in the summer sun, but quick to ask for my body heat come winter time, returning with another story about your dad and how he forgot to make you dinner. On your birthday, you told me all you wanted was a bag of chips and a hug. It took me a while to realize that being so empty leaves your mind hungry for sunshine. But I can't afford to be your therapist. And when you finally sought professional help, they stuffed you up with pills that didn't even work. Tell me, did your neurotransmitters tell you to overdose? Did you hold a razor blade against your wrist, thinking it would feel like my nails? You called me 3 times last week, and I didn't pick up. Today you tell me you're in the doghouse, sentenced 3 to 5 days because you tried to off yourself. The time is 51:50, and I wonder if I could have made a difference. Maybe if I had picked up, or called you back, you wouldn't have to be force-fed your comfort food. Now they've locked you up like you've done something wrong, when really, your life has just never shown you anything right. And I can't afford to be your mother, especially when you won't tell me anything. But I'm trying. I've been asking you so many times, "What's wrong, honey? What's wrong?" My words clawing at your brain over and over, but never enough to break skin. Alright. I think I will leave it at that. I know this is a short video, but I don't really want to ramble about something that I guess is really depressing. I really don't want to depress you guys any further, but yeah, that I guess is a bit of what it's like to have someone close to you feel that way, and I guess be that way. I hope you liked the poem. I get that it wasn't the most uplifting thing, but I appreciate that you guys have decided to listen to it and listen to what I have to say anyway. So, I guess I will leave that at that for today. I promise I will make the next video more uplifting than this, because I really don't like doing depressing topics. You know, I like doing the fun stuff, the dorky stuff, the teas, the books, the stuff like that, but it felt like by omitting this I would be lying to you guys, in a way. Especially because I've been told so often that this is one of my best poems. So, I'll see you guys next time.